like I said, I am from Mumbai. I did move to New York City, but I didn't want to do the procedure in a third world country with poor healthcare. So I left New York and I flew to Mumbai.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kaneez Surka!
Good evening, New York City! Thank you so much for coming out to my special taping. Are you guys having fun so far? I'm originally from Mumbai. I moved here 3.5 years ago. And yes. Are you from Mumbai, sir?
Yes.
Where in Mumbai?
Lower Parel.
Anyway. I moved here 3 years ago from Mumbai City, and I moved here to continue pursuing my comedy career. Yes. And also to find love. And comedy is going really well. Comedy is going... Damn it. No, I did move here to find my people. Because here's the thing, I'm actually originally from South Africa. I was born and brought up there, but I did grow up there as an Indian during apartheid. Oh no, oopsie daisies. I was like, I don't think I'm white enough for this country. So I moved to India because I was like, surely my people will be there. And I moved there. I was there for 17 years, but I did live there as a Muslim under the BJP government. Oh no, eeks. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. Basically another fascist regime. So I was like, where can I go in the world where they don't care where I'm from, what color I am, or what ethnicity I am? So I moved to New York City, baby. Yeah. New York doesn't care where you're from because New York doesn't care in general. And I'm like, I think I found my people. I think I'm going to be here. Like, where are you from, for instance, ma'am? Yeah, no, I don't care. I'm a New Yorker now. That's how we do it. I'm a New Yorker now. That's how we... I'm also Indian, very sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I'm New Yorker and Indian. No, here's the thing. Like, I was obviously very excited about moving to a new country, but one thing made me nervous, and that was I had heard horror stories growing up about how brown people were treated at airports, especially since 11/9. And that's one thing that made me nervous. But guys, I just want to let you know that I had a very different experience because I was at the airport the other day. I was on my way to Puerto Rico, to find love. I didn't find any. I was with two of my white girlfriends. We were at the airport. There was a crazy long security line, and I started freaking out. I was like, oh my God, we're not going to make it on our flight. We're not going to make it to Puerto Rico. I'm never going to find the love of my life. I was just going on and on. 2 minutes later, a guy taps me on my shoulder. I turn around, and it's this tall white man in a uniform. He had this air of undeserving authority. And I was like, hello. He's like, ma'am, could you please step aside? And I was like, sure. So I stepped out, and he was like, ma'am, we are interested in you. And I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you're interested in me? I'm not even wearing kajal. What do you mean? And he's like, ma'am, you're a person of interest. I was with 2 other white girls, and he picked me. At that point, he whisked me away. He took my bag, my ticket, my passport, without even asking me. Took me all the way to the front of the line, the whole time shouting, move aside, person of interest, coming through. Move aside, person of interest, coming through. And I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I hate all this attention. I get to the front of the line, I go past security, I'm about to go to my gates to wait, and he's like, no. He escorts me to my own room. Guys, I didn't have to wait at the gates with the other common folk, yakchi gandhi. I got to wait in my own room. A lady comes in 5 minutes later, she gives me a full body massage, just up and down, and I was like, this is so thoughtful. Unnecessary, but very thoughtful. I tried to tip her, she wouldn't take it. And I was like, first time in American history. And then he comes back in and he starts asking me all these questions. He's like, where are you from? What do you do? Are you carrying any weapons? And I was like, you mean these guns over here? I go to the gym, and I do like the biceptical machine. And then I do a couple of triceratopses. Anyway, I'm not going to get into my gym routine. But he ended up asking me all these questions about myself. And I was like, I have never had a guy listen to me so intently before. I was loving it. I ended up missing my flight in the end. I know, but no, it was worth it. It was worth it because you Americans made me feel so special that day. So thank you so much. Thank you. When I go back to India and South Africa and they're like, we heard Americans are racist, you don't worry. Because I will be the one who says, that is not true. That is factually incorrect. Because Americans do not see me as a person of color. They see me as a person of interest, and there's nothing more flattering than that. Thank you, America. Thank you for your interest in brown people all over the world. Truly flattering. Oh, man. You know, I moved to America and I was like, I'm going to have to immerse myself in a new culture. I'm going to have to meet new people. I'm going to have to make new friends in a new country. And I'm like in my early 40s, late 30s. And I was like, that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard when you get older. It gets harder. And before I left India, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to America and I'm going to say yes to everything. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say yes to everything. Like, I'm going to grab life by its balls, you know? With its consent. Obviously. I was like, hey, life, can I grab your balls? And life was like, yes, you can. And I was like, at any point, if you feel uncomfortable, just say no. And life was like, no, you're doing a good job. I was like, yeah, I've had a lot of practice. So. Anyway, so I was ready to grab balls, and I go to my first comedy show, and I meet some comedians after the show, and I'm like, oh, I want to make friends with these guys. I introduce myself. They're like, welcome to the city. Would you like to come with us to a party in the Bronx? And I'm like, you know what? Yes. I'm saying yes to everything. I'm saying yes to everything. Let's go to the party in the Bronx. I get to this party. 10 minutes later, they come up to me again. They're like, hey, do you want to do some tequila shots? And I was like, yes. I'm saying yes to everything. I'm saying yes to everything. Let's do some tequila shots. I do some tequila shots. I get a little tipsy. He comes back 20 minutes later. He's like, hey, do you want to try some ketamine? And I was like, oh, shit. Because I've never had ketamine before. I know it's a drug. I'm not uncool. But I've never done ketamine before, and I didn't know what its vibe was. Like, I didn't know how hardcore of a drug it was. So I was like, listen, I'm saying yes to everything because I'm grabbing balls and all. But, like, what's ketamine's vibe? That's my way of gauging how hardcore a drug is. I'm like, what's its vibe? He's like, oh, listen, it's super chilled out. All the kids are doing it nowadays. It's just like weed. And I was like, well, if it's just like the wacky tobacco, sign me up. I go to the bathroom, I do ketamine. I come out, my friend's like, where have you been? I was like, I was in the bathroom doing ketamine. He's like, what the fuck, Kaneez? Like, that's a hardcore drug. I was like, no, it's not. It's super chilled out. All the kids are doing it nowadays. It's just like the wacky tobacco. He's like, no kids are calling it wacky tobacco, so please stop that. He's like, secondly, did you not snort a white powder up your nose? And I was like, yes. He's like, how did you think it was just like weed? And I was like, oh, that's a very valid point you've made. So now I'm on ketamine. Not now, ma'am, in the story. So now I'm on ketamine. I'm like, what did I just take? Oh, crap. So I decide to Google the effects of ketamine because what better time to reassure yourself that you've made a good decision. And I Google effects of ketamine, and all that comes up is horse tranquilizer, horse tranquilizer, horse tranquilizer. And I was like, horses do drugs too? No, but I have a great time, I think. I don't remember. But the most important thing is I did make friends that night. I did, with 5 comedians and 2 horses. And so doing drugs when you're older, say yes. Say yes to doing drugs, guys. It is the best way to meet new people. Have you done ketamine before, man? No, you must try it. You must try it. Another wonderful way of meeting people in a new city is going on dates. I know. Everyone's like, dating in New York. But I have to say, like, after being on a couple of dates and just being around in New York in general, I didn't realize how sexually conservative I was. I had no idea because, like, back home, I was a whore. People like Chandra would be like, hey, Randi, and I'd be like, I did not know. Because, like, there's all these fetishes and trends and sexual rituals that people are engaging in that I haven't heard of some of them ever, and I've definitely not tried a lot of them. But, like, I go out to, like, comedy shows and comedians on stage are like, I ate ass last night. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're eating ass now. Things to do in New York City. Eat ass. Okay, I must try it. And I want to be open-minded and I want to try all these things, but at the same time, I don't want to lose, like, my value system and my culture. So I'm trying to tread this thin line, and I think I'm doing an okay job. I started off slow. I'm starting slow. For instance, like, I tried sexting for the first time recently. Oh, naughty. And we send each other texts back and forth. Like, we were like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? Oh, it's so big. Oh, it's so small. Like, we're just going back and forth. And then we decided to take it one step further and send each other pictorial sex. Like, what do you kids call them? Nudes. Like, let's send some nudes. And again, I didn't want to be like the Gen Zers where they're like, boobs, vagina. You know, like a boomerang. Boobs, vagina. Boobs. It's not my vibe. It's not my vibe. I'm classier than that. No, I just sent him pictures where he was like, oh, what's that bump on the side of a hip? Is that an ass or a love handle? Like, you know, like, what is happening there? I also had my first booty call experience recently. That was fun. I met this guy on Hinge 8 months ago. We went on a date. After the date, he was like, oh, by the way, I'm just looking for something casual. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm just looking for the love of my life. So we did not continue meeting, but he was like, in the future, if you ever want to try something casual, hit me up. So 2 months ago, I was like, I'm going to try this booty call thing. And I messaged him, and I was like, hey, you up? And he was like, hey, who dis? But we made a plan. He was on his way over. And then half an hour before he came over, I suddenly started freaking out a little bit because I was like, I don't know what the protocol of a booty call is. But I do know what the protocol of having a guest over is. As an Indian, my mother has drilled that into me. And I remember that if a guest is coming, I have to cook something. I have to feed my guest. That is the number one rule in the Indian household. We know that. So I'm in the kitchen, like frying samosas, making chai, putting biscuits on a plate, some chevda in a bowl, taking some chakli out, making some mint chutney, preparing a whole meal for my booty call. My friend messages me. He's like, how's it going? Are you excited? I was like, I'm too busy. He's like, doing what? I was like, preparing dishes for my guest. And he's like, that's not how a booty call works. He just comes over and you get going. And I was like, and he doesn't have anything to eat? Like, this is not my culture. Fine, but I'll try it your way. Okay? So he comes over, we just get going. He doesn't even drink the glass of water I offered him. I'm feeling weird initially about this, but towards the end, I ended up feeling really good. I did. Not just from the sex, but also because my guest did end up eating. He did end up eating. Ass. So yes, I think I'm doing a great job treading that line between trying new things and maintaining my culture. I think I'm doing a very good job. I'm meeting wonderful people in New York City. I do love it over here. I do miss my friends in India. I have beautiful friends in India. Recently, I woke up and I got a bunch of messages, like 3 messages from different people saying, oh, we heard the bad news. We hope you're okay. And we just want to let you know that we're here for you. Like just versions of that kind of message. And I was like, what's going on? So I messaged my best friend, Biswa, and I was like, why is everyone messaging me this? And he's like, oh, no, there's a rumor going around that you have cancer. I was like, what the fuck? And only 3 people messaged me? What is happening right now? This is not okay. I am that person. I would be more upset about people not messaging me than having cancer. That is who I am. But then he was like, no, it didn't spread too far. Not the cancer, the rumor. The rumor didn't spread too far, and that's why less people messaged me. Okay, that is the reason. I grew up in South Africa during apartheid, and that was a very interesting experience for me because I went to a very white British boarding school where I was the only Indian and it was 300 white women. I just felt like a non-wizard at Hogwarts. That's what it felt like. And it was interesting growing up there because the truth is, when I was a teenager, all I wanted was to be white. I know you guys are thinking, why would you want to be white? It was the 90s. It was cool back then. I just wanted to be white. A, because I'm a teenager and I want to fit in with everyone in my school. And B, when you grow up in South Africa, in apartheid South Africa, you're told that, white people are better. They're more valuable. They're superior. Like you, sir. Not like who you are as a person, just the color of your skin. Yeah. I was so embarrassed about being Indian in my culture. Like, I remember watching Little Mermaid and really relating to her. Because she'd sit on that rock and she'd long to be part of a world that she was not a part of. And I, too, want to be part of a world that I was not a part of. But my song went a little differently. My song was more like, I want to be where the white people are. Getting jobs and loans much more easily. Walking around on colonized land. Pretending it belongs to me. Up where they're privileged, they're not oppressed. They don't even have to wash their legs. Wish I could be wandering free, a white person. Not you. Not you. No, you. Oh, how magical it would be to be white. Oh. Listen, I love being brown now. I'm very proud of being brown. But if I did want to be white, like it would be easy nowadays because I could just identify as white, right? And then I'm white. I'll be like, my pronouns are Becky and Amy. Everyone would have to call me that, and it would be great. I wouldn't want to be a Karen, though. I wouldn't want to be like a party pooper, like conservative white woman. I want to be like a white liberal woman. That's what I want to be, Like I get offended by everything. It's like you eat meat, that offends me. You're not driving a Prius, that offends me. Children are dying in the war, that offends... Oh, wait, it's Palestinians? Never mind, carry on. No, carry on. That's okay, carry on. Ooh. I guess I'm not going to be keeping the green card for too long. Womp, womp, womp. No, I'm very happy being Indian, but that was the reason why I moved to India, because I was like, oh, I think I need to go be amongst Indians. So I moved to India, and I did what every good Indian girl does as soon as I got there. I got married. Thank you very much. Hold the applause. No, carry on. No, stop. No, I got married, and then 3 years after that, I was like, fuck shit. And I got divorced, yeah! Yes! I just remember my whole wedding, ceremony. I just felt like a piece of property. I wasn't part of the nikah. Then at the vidai, which is another ceremony at the end, they handed me over to the boy's family. And I was like, oh, this does not sit with me well. I'm not going to get into that, like I said, but I just want to let you guys know that this piece of property is not for sale anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Yes. Yes. She was only for rental purposes, okay? You can only rent this property out. And short-term rentals only, okay? So keep it moving. Keep it moving. There is all you can eat though, so that is that is one of the perks of this rental property. Here's the thing, I was born to a Muslim family, but we were super chilled out at home. Like, we drank wine, we ate pork, we never prayed. So basically, we were not Muslims. But I grew up in a very chilled out household, and I got married to a pretty conservative Muslim family. And here's the thing, I didn't know my ex-husband was conservative, because before marriage, he was like, where's the party? Where's the party? And then after marriage, he's like, where's my tea? Where's my tea? And I was like, what happened to the part of that word? Like, I remember my ex-father-in-law came home one night for dinner, and he was a very scary, intimidating, orthodox Muslim man. I had a lot of respect for him because he wasn't a hypocrite, but very scary, very intimidating. He was tall, broad-shouldered, he had the topi, the beard, he wore the robes. He was so scary and intimidating that his own sons gave him the nickname, the Al-Qaeda. That's what they nicknamed their father. My ex-husband is like, the Al-Qaeda's coming home for dinner tonight. And I'm like, how many of them? Like the whole organization? How many people am I catering for? So my ex-father-in-law comes home one night and we have dinner, and afterwards he's like, Kaneez, beta, you've been married in this family for 2 years now. It is time for you to start following Islam. And I was like, oh, shit. What am I going to do with all the wine and bacon I just bought? So I was like, actually, Father, I've not chosen Islam yet. I was very diplomatic. So I'll not be following it. Thank you so much. God bless you. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, astaghfirullah. God save the Queen. Go Yankees. Chicken shawarma combo. Shish kebab. I'm not going to do it. He's like, no, you have to. And I was like, but I don't want to. And then he pointed his finger at me. And he said, you will do what I tell you to do in this household. And the liberal, empowered woman that I was also back then was like, no. Nobody tells Kaneez what to do. Nobody puts baby in the corner, facing Mecca 5 times a day. And my rage kicked in, because I used to have really hardcore rage issues, but I've been doing therapy for 6 years now. Thank you. So now it's just rage. And I was like, you can't tell me what to do. And I kicked my chair and I threw my phone on the floor and I threw a glass across the room. And my ex-father-in-law was like, yes, that's the Muslim in you I've been looking for this whole time. Rage on, my child, rage on. No, but we got into a huge verbal spat. At the end of it, he was like, if you don't follow Islam, you wait and see what happens. And I was like, what's going to happen? God's going to throw a lightning bolt from the sky? He's like, we don't follow Greek mythology. It's Islam. And I was like, how are you going to make me follow Islam? And at that point, my ex-husband, who had never stood up for us in our entire marriage and never stood up for himself in his entire life, he stood up and he said, Dad, in my household, Kaneez can follow whatever religion she wants to. Yeah, yes. And I looked at him with a glint in my eye and I was like, my household? It's our household. Our. Together. We both own our. We separated a few hours later. And that's the story of my marriage. It was a great... we didn't have any children, luckily. I'm very grateful that we didn't have any children. And so recently, after I turned 39, I decided to do a fertility procedure. No, not message the booty call. I decided to freeze my eggs. Yeah. I woke up one morning, just all of a sudden, my eggs were like, Kaneez! Kaneez, bacha, are you there? I was like, Nanima, is that you? They're like, no, we are not your Nanima, but we are the same age as her. Kaneez, my bacha, we are dying. We need to be fertilized. We have not seen dick in decades. Do something. Oh my God, okay, I will freeze you guys. But like I said, I am from Mumbai. I did move to New York City, but I didn't want to do the procedure in a third world country with poor healthcare. So I left New York and I flew to Mumbai. I get to Mumbai, my doctor does some tests, he comes back and he's like, Kaneez, oh ho 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 ho. Oh ho ho ho, ayyo, ayyo. Chi 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 chi. Oh la 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 la. Ta 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 ta. He was on ketamine. I was like, can you just tell me the results, please? And he's like, it's very, I don't know how to sugarcoat it. It's dire. It's a Humpty Dumpty situation right now. The eggs are falling off your uterus wall, one by one, and there's no amount of king's men or king's horses that can put your dignity back together again. We must act fast. And I was like, okay, oh my God, yeah. But here's the thing, freezing your eggs for a woman, it's a laborious process. It's not like for you guys, where you can just jizz into an ice tray and stick it in the freezer. I had to do a month of pills, half a month of injections, and then they went up into my vagina and scooped my eggs out like it was caviar. And here's the thing. A young girl below the ages of 35, like a young fertile girl. Like, how old are you guys? 27? No, mashallah. No, listen, like young girls, like young fertile girls like yourselves, get between 10 to 20 eggs, and that's a good amount of eggs. That's how many eggs you want. But your gal here ain't no young fertile bitch. Because I got 4 eggs! Yeah! 4 eggs! Suck my eggs! Where my boys at? My boys! That's what I'm talking about, boys, my boys. That's what I'm talking about. Where my boys at? Boys, guys, 4 eggs. That's the shit I'm talking about. So, there's not much I can do in terms of trying to have a baby, but you guys don't worry because I have awesome options, okay? The first option is I sell my eggs as merchandise after my show, so please meet me at the bar if you guys would like my actual DNA as merchandise. The second thing I could do is egg my ex-boyfriend's house. Be like, you bastard, why did you break up with me? We could have been a happy family. I just did this for you as revenge, but like only 4 times. And then the last option, like, I think I want to eat my eggs. No, like, listen, I know. Like, out of curiosity to see what they taste like. They are my eggs. Like, remember when you were a young teenager, like the first time you masturbated? And remember, like, and you were like, oh. Remember, like, sir, remember, like, when you were like a young teenager, you're like, sir, remember, you're like, oh, what? When you were young, where my jizz-eating boys at? Hey, where my jizz-eating boys at? Where my jizz-eating? Hey! I knew an Indian crowd would have a couple of those. I knew it. We like science, guys. We like science. My jizz-eating boys at? Where my jizz-eating girls at? Hey! Auntie, close your eyes. Hey! No, here's the thing. Like, a lot of times people have this argument of like, you'll only experience true unconditional love when you become a parent. And I call bullshit on that. Okay, a parent's love for their kid is riddled with conditions. It is not an unconditional love. You expect them to be a certain way, dress a certain way, get a certain grade, go to a certain college, marry a certain person. It is all conditions. What are you talking about? The only true unconditional love that exists in this world is between a niece and her masi. Okay? That is the only true unconditional love that exists. Because I have 8 gorgeous nieces. They are literally the most beautiful things this universe has ever seen. And that's not like subjective, it's a fact. It's a fact because I tweeted it last week, and when you tweet something, it's a fact. So that's not me like saying it on my show. Like, ma'am, do you guys have nieces? Yeah, mine are better than yours. They can do and become anything, and I will love them exactly the same amount. And one step further, I will like them the same amount. Like, nothing they can do will ever make me love them or like them less. Like, they can come up to me and be like, hey, Masi, we want to be a stripper. And I'll be like, yes, my bachas, absolutely, I will support you. In fact, I will start your OnlyFans page. Don't worry. I'll do social media. Like, they'll be like, Masi, we want to sell drugs. And I was like, yes, there are people visiting from another country in America. They need ketamine. What a great business idea, my bacha. What a wonderful idea. They can come up to me and be like, Masi, we want to be a comedian. And I'll be like, there's more dignity in stripping and drug selling. Also, politicians are less offended by stripping and drug selling. So you just do that. You just do that. I will love those little girls to the end. But yeah, to be fair, my parents are also very, like, now they love me unconditionally. Like I'm single, divorced, I don't have children, I'm not married, I'm not white. You'd think my parents would be like embarrassed about me. You'd think they'd be ashamed, but not my parents. Have you ever had your parents so proud of you that they take it too far sometimes? Not even you, white folk? It's fine. Recently, we were back in Cape Town because my Masa had passed away. And, wonderful man, and we love him and miss him. And my Masi was crying. She was like, I was married to him for over 30 years. I don't know how to do life without a husband. I don't know how to do life alone. And my parents were like, yes, it's going to be hard. But look at Kaneez. Look at Kaneez. She is all alone. She has nobody. But she is living her best life. Take inspiration from her. And my Masi's like, you know what, you're right, Chooser, you're right, she's all alone. She has nobody. And she's not giving up. And my mom's like, exactly at the age of 40. Alone. Nobody. Nothing. She has nothing. But she is grabbing life by the balls with its consent. And you can too. Is it a clapping woo moment? I'm like, thank you, I think, but also can we just say alone a little less? Also, how am I the poster child? How am I the inspiration for widows in my community? What the hell? Like, I'm divorced. My spouse didn't die. I wanted him to die, but... And also the goal is not to be alone. Like, that's not the goal. Like, I want to find somebody, but I'm not going to wait for him to live my life. You know what I'm saying? But no, my parents are just so proud of their single daughter living in New York City. Now, widows come home for tea, and my parents are like, Sushma, you must meet my daughter. #1 single person in the world. Kaneez, beta, come show auntie how to do single. Doctor in alone, engineering in nobody, PhD in nothing. Come, show. Show auntie. We're very proud. Very proud of our bacha. Do dance we taught you. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the single ladies. All alone. I'm like, thanks, mom and dad. Thanks. And I do love it. Because my parents are like, now they've become hardcore feminists. They're like, our daughter Kaneez does not need a man. She does not need a man. And I'm like, you're right, mom and dad. I don't need a man. But I want to. It's so hard to find sex every time I'm ovulating. Not today. When I'm ovulating. In 4 days' time. Things to do in New York. Kaneez. I went to go live with my parents before I moved here. I went there for 6 months, and it was wonderful living with them, but also very confusing as an adult woman living under her parents' roof again. Because nobody knew what the rules were. Nobody knew who the adult was and who the child was. So confusing at this age. One night I was going out, and my mom's like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm going out partying." And she's like, "And what time will you be back?" And I was like, "I'll be back whenever I want to be back. What are these questions?" She's like, "You come back at 11 p.m., it's dangerous out there." I was like, "No, I'm going out partying, I'm coming back at 3 a.m. It's like, "You're under my roof, my rules, you come back at 11 p.m. I was like, "No, I'm a big girl now, I'm coming back at 3 a.m. 11 p.m., 3 a.m., 11 p.m., 3 a.m. She looks at my father. She's like, "Juicer, you tell your daughter." My dad's like, "Yeah, just come back." My mom's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "I don't know what the rules are. It's confusing." I was with a guy one night, and my mom kept calling incessantly, and I was like, "Ma, what do you want?" She's like, "Where are you?" I was like, "I'm with the guy, Mom." And she's like, "And what are you doing?" And I was like, "Him. I'm doing him. What do you want?" She's like, "Oh my God, Juicer, you tell your daughter." My dad's like, "Yeah, just come." Like, "Thanks, Dad. Thank you so much." I have wonderfully supportive parents. It matters. Listen, guys, the truth is, as a single 40-year-old woman in this world, I don't have a husband, I don't have my own children. I've lived in countries where the governments have told me I don't belong. Like, the search to find your people is a real search. I'm like, who are my people? And after writing this show, I realized I have found my people. Like, I don't need to search anymore. My people are my wonderful, supportive parents and my family, my Masi and my nieces, who are like my friends. My people are my beautiful friends back home and here who are like my family. It's the comedy community all over the world. It's white people. It's a guy from the TSA. It's my jizz-eating boys. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know? And most importantly, it is you guys who come out to watch me do what I love doing, being on stage. So thank you so much. Thank you. You guys are my people. You guys are my people. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you. And I know this guy over here is like, I did not know I was joining a cult. I'm okay. I don't need to be your people. That's okay. And that's okay, sir, because I have 4 eggs. So I can make my own people if I need to. Guys, I'm Kaneez Surka. You have been wonderful. Thank you so much for coming to my first special taping in New York.